Seated comfortably in Padmasana, the lotus pose. For those of us who may have had a knee surgery or any other acute knee conditions, a Sukhasana or straight legs or legs hanging down is also fine. If you're not allowed a knee bend, we can also lie down or sit with straight legs. Padmasana, though, is one of the best meditative and pranayam postures. Locks the lower body circulation, increases the upper body circulation, and hence opens up both the nostrils, which is an ideal state for pranayam or for meditation. Hands in chin mudra, where the index fingertip and the thumb tip touch each other. The other three fingers are open so that when the wrists rest the knees, the palms face the ceiling. Make sure the spine is upright, the shoulders tucked back. Back of the head in line with the spine. Eyes gently closed. Hari Om. I'm Bijal Doshi, and today we will be doing the 5 plus the 3 categories in pranayam for healing. Starting with the first one amongst the 5, the energizing pranayams. We will be doing Bhastrika in alternate nostril. Right hand in Nasagraha mudra after opening the chin mudra, bringing the index fingertip and the middle fingertip at the thumb tip, exhaling actively alternate nostrils. So shut the right nostril, exhale from the left. Shut the left, exhale from the right. And continue alternate nostril exhalations in energizing pranayam category, the vitalizing pranayam category. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So after doing 1 or 2 exhalations from alternate nostrils, start with Bhastrika with alternate nostril inhalation and exhalation. Continue the bellows breath, Bhastrika. Continue. Inhale fully, exhale completely. Seated in Padmasana, the lotus pose. Awareness on the inhalations and the exhalations. Customize your pranayam. Don't use too much force. And at the same time, do use enough force for it to show results. Last 11 sets now, count in a descending order. And discontinue. Allow the breath to slow down. Check if you're feeling a resonance in the breath. And then place the right palm on the left knee. Completely twist. Turn totally to the left. Turn the head to the right to practice Ujjayi, the throat breath. Beginners will open their mouth. Others will keep the mouth closed to practice Ujjayi. Twist well so that the entire vertebral column stays twisted, shoulders parallel to the wall of the left, head turning towards the right. If eyes are open, stare mindlessly in Unmani. Bring back that gentle smile and continue. After doing the energizing pranayams of alternate nostril bhastika, where we activated the nostrils to the other components in the lungs, we stabilize our pranayam in what I call yoga with a twist, doing Ujjayi, the ultimate beneficial on top breath, clearing the mucus and the phlegm from the throat, making exhalations longer than the inhalations, reversing fears associated with relationships and finances, activating the Vishuddhi chakra at the throat pit. And we return to change sides, placing the left palm on the right knee. Now we twist totally to the right. Shoulders parallel to the wall on the right. Turn the head to the left. Smile first. And then practice Ujjayi, the throat breath. A first timer in Ujjayi will keep her mouth open. And gently start closing it. Make sure the head is totally twisted over the left shoulder. If eyes are open, stare in Unmani, mindlessly. Make sure you rub inhaled and exhaled air through the throat pit. And return back to the center. To do the third, the cooling pranayam, in which we will fold our tongue like a taco, stick it out, inhale fully, bring it in, purse the lips, exhale completely from the nostrils. Repeat cooling pranayam, Shitali. Not to be done by those who wear dentures if they are in a very, very cold weather. Cools the jathar, the abdominal pit, reverses problems associated with excessive heat in the body, like pimples, acne, pigmentation, burning of the skin, excessive hair fall, acid refluxes, gas, flatulence, acidity. Make sure the exhalations are long and that you pause in shunya before you restart. No hurry. We move on from the cooling pranayam category to the tranquilizing pranayam category. In tranquilizing pranayam category, we do Brahmari pranayam, the humming bee pranayam with Shanmukhi mudra. So we touch on the five senses, closing that of sight, touching that of smell, touching the corners of taste, touching the skin on the chin, and then plugging our ears closed. After we inhale fully, making a humming sound exhaling after the ears are plugged closed. Totally 5 rounds. Brahmari pranayam. On finishing 5 rounds of Brahmari, one which is used to reverse problems associated with depression, panic attacks, sleeping well, tinnitus, reversing ringing in the ears, macular degeneration. Basically, problems associated with ears, eardrums, insomnia, and eyes. Brahmari pranayam, extremely beneficial. We move on to the fifth category of the five, the balancing pranayams. Here in Ujjayi, we do alternate nostril breathing, where we bring our right hand in Nasagraha Mudra. Index fingertip and middle fingertip touch the thumb joint. The ring finger and the little finger are open. And we close the right nostril, inhaling from the left. Exhaling from the right, close the left. Inhale from the right. Exhale from the left. Continue. This is called alternate nostril breathing, Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Anulom means going towards in inhalations. Vilom means coming out in exhalation. So that's a reverse. In case eyes open up at any point, make sure you're in Unmani. Unmani is a mindless stare. Make sure the exhalations are longer than the inhalations. Anulom Vilom Pranayam is known to balance the blood pressure and to normalize cholesterol. To this, I often add a twist in Anulom Vilom Pranayam for those of us who have cholesterol. There are two types. They say the good one and the bad one, and we want to balance each. We add a twist in that. So after the next exhalation, twist completely and then do the same Anulom Vilom Pranayam. This is to balance the secretions of the endocrine system's glands. You won't even realize how beneficial this is till you compare and use gratitude to thank. First, compare. How was I before a few days, or before a few weeks, or before a few months, or before a few years of starting pranayama? And how much have I benefited because of pranayama, because of doing yoga with a twist? And then twist the other side. And this time use the other hand. Do something different. So we've always been doing Anulom Vilom with the right hand. We now do it with the left. You can even twist completely and retwist the head. A lovely way to learn multitasking. Reverses hypertension, balances the blood pressure, especially bringing the low back to normal, the high down to normal. Make sure your exhalations are longer than your inhalations. Anulom Vilom Pranayama with full abdominal breaths, if followed after Kapalbhati, is great to reverse problems associated with addictions. Make sure your exhalations are long. The next time you're craving for that tobacco or coffee or alcohol, just do 108 to 1008 Kapalbhati, followed by Anulom Vilom Pranayam with a twist. Problems, pressures, stresses of daily life can get us a little weak in the mind, spoil our sleep, binge, go into food addictions, and even worse, other addictions. 108 to 1008 Kapalbhati, followed by Anulom Vilom Pranayam, what we are currently doing with a twist, shows amazing results. Discontinue, return back to the center to start with abdominal breathing. So now we move on to the 3 categories after finishing the 5 categories. The 5 being energizing, vitalizing, to tranquilizing, stabilizing, cooling, and balancing. We're now moving to the lower breath, abdominal breath. Inhale, inflate the abdomen like a balloon. Exhale, bring it back to normal. Inhale, inflate the abdomen like a balloon. Exhale, bring it back to normal. Inflate so much on your inhalations that you can't inflate anymore. In Padmasana, beginners will have right palm on the abdomen. They can lift their t-shirts and also put the palm on the navel. Left hand can be on the chest to make sure that the abdomen is moving, not the chest. While doing abdominal breaths, that's the lower breath, make sure you're pushing the anus, the perineum, and the pelvis, the urethra, out on inhalations, back on exhalations. Inflate well, like a balloon, like a pregnant woman. Very, very effective pranayama. All day, throughout our lives, We've held our abdomen in to look good and to hold negativity and stresses. To look good and to hold negativity and stresses. Here we are doing abdominal breaths, and that too very, very big ones. You may place your palm on your navel, on your belly, on your tummy. This is simultaneous with the whole pelvic platform pushing down on your yoga mats. Discontinue abdominal breathing. Notice how all the organs in the abdomen feel at this point. The liver, the spleen. Actually visualize your stomach, your large and small intestines, your liver, your spleen, your gallbladder, your pancreas. Visualize them. The moment you visualize your organs, you will be flooded, filled with gratitude. Oh, wow, I have them all. There are a few out there who've been given half from a spouse, like the liver, or so many inches cut off, like the intestines, or having the wrong balance in the secretions, like from the pancreas, or the gallbladder removed. And here we may be with all our organs intact when we do abdominal breaths. Stresses of daily life involuntarily also tense up the muscles near the anus, creating Urdhva Vayu, where the air element moves up to the temples, bringing back problems of migraines, headaches, heavy head, throbbing, palpitations. Abdominal breathing reverses those. Breathe like a child. Newborns are natural abdominal breathers. Let every bit of that inhaled oxygen go and reach every organ in the Manipur and around the chakra. The jewel town with all the organs as jewels. For those of us who had discontinued abdominal breaths a while back, continue observing and gently lift the observation from the abdomen's organs to the lungs, the heart, the rib cage covering them, and the intercostal muscles. To start with the thoracic breath, the middle breath. Inhale and inflate the lungs. Exhale, bring them back to normal. Customize your thoracic breath by inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Inhale so that the intercostal muscles come out of your rib cage, from the front, from the back, from the sides. For those of us who do not suffer from hypertension or high blood pressure, we can hold the inhalations and the exhalations in Bahir Kumbhak and in Antar Kumbhak and Bahir Kumbhak. So in the middle breath, thoracic breathing, we pretty much combine Savitri pranayam if we wish, with the middle breath. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold 2, 3, 4. And then move on to the last one of the three, clavicular breathing. So these collarbones here make hollows near them in the clavicles. These are called clavicles. That's how it goes. Literally seeing your skeletal system out there at the collarbones. Shoulders lift a little. Clavicular breaths. It's called the upper breath. Just a few of these. Don't strain yourselves. Any of these breaths can be done with Ujjayi combined. And then finish off with yogic breathing. Inhale, inflate the abdomen like a balloon. Inhale even more, inflate the lungs, the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. Inhale even more, come into clavicular breaths. Exhale. Yogic breathing. Yogic breathing because we are using every component of breath. Every component. Discontinue yogic breathing. And let's review. An energizing or tranquilizing pranayama. We can do Bhastrika instead of alternate nostrils. Normal Bhastrika. A tranquilizing pranayama. Brahmari. A cooling pranayama. Shitkari. We already did Shitali once. A balancing pranayama. And a stabilizing pranayama. And Ujjayana twist. Throat breath. Ujjayana twist or a double twist. Return. One abdominal breath, the lower one. One thoracic breath, the middle one. One clavicular breath, the upper one. One yogic breath, all three. And discontinue. End today's session with Kapalbhati, starting the count in a descending order from 192. end this session with Kapalabhati, active exhalations, pulling the tummy in, counting in a reverse descending order, starting from 192. Hari Om Tat Sat. Continue. Pause again. Discontinue Kapalbhati. Open your eyes. All right. We end today's session